guys, welcome back. We are doing lesson 22 in Wit and Wisdom. Our essential question, the overall question for our unit is, what can we discover about animals and their unique features? So our focus question for this lesson is, how do animals use the same feature in unique ways? And our content framing is, what is happening in What Do You Do with a Tail Like This? So in this lesson, you're going to be introduced to a new artwork, Young Hare. You're also going to build on their work with the main topics and key details by identifying the main topic and key details of two sections of the text, What Do You Do with a Tail Like This? As well as determining the main topic of the whole text. So let's get started. I am going to show you a clip. It's a piece of artwork for you to view the image, okay? And I want you to think about what you wonder and notice about it, okay? So let me pull that up so you can see it. All right, so now you see the artwork in the center of your screen, okay? I want you to think about it, notice and wonder what's going on in it. I'm gonna give you a little bit to look at it. Okay, so what did you see? What did you notice about this work of art? Well, I noticed that there's a bunny sitting in the middle of the page. I also noticed he's got really big ears and it looks real. And it looks like he has brown fur, right? Okay. Well then, what do you wonder about this page? Well, I want to know, is that rabbit real? Because he looks real, doesn't he? Is this a photograph, a drawing, or a painting? It's a good question, isn't it? How did the artist make it look so real? It's like he can jump right off the page, isn't it? And why did the artist paint a bunny? Well, this is a painting and it's in watercolors. It was made in 1502 by an artist in Germany named Albrecht Dürer. And this image is only about a 9 by 10 inch square. Notice at the bottom, it has a date at the bottom under the bunny's feet, and then it has an A and a D that stand for the artist's name. And then the title of this painting is Young Hare. Young Hare. So let me stop sharing. Okay, great job. So let's remember that when we organize the key details in a text, that helps us figure out what the text is mainly about. So think about this. What is the term we use when we talk about what a text or section of text is mostly about? Well, it's the main topic, right? Okay, that's what the text is mostly about. Well, today you're going to identify the key details in the text so that we can determine the main topic of this text. So how did we determine the main topic and key details of Me, Jane, and Seahorse, the shyest fish in the sea? Do you remember? buttons and boxes. Buttons and boxes. So today, we're going to determine the main topic and key details for 3 sections in our text in a similar way using the buttons and boxes routine before looking at the main topic as a whole picture. All right, so I am going to read aloud pages 3 through 6. And it says, what do you do with a nose like this? There's our picture. If you're a platypus, you use your nose to dig in the mud. If you're a hyena, you find your next meal with your nose. If you're an elephant, you use your nose to give yourself a bath. A mole, you use your nose to find your way underground. If you're an alligator, you breathe through your nose while hiding in the water. Okay, now think about those pages. What are some key details that we learned on this page? Let me get my buttons and box. So, what are some details that we learned? Well, I learned a platypus uses its nose to dig in the dirt. I also learned that elephants use their nose to give themselves a bath. And I also learned that alligators use their noses underwater to breathe. So those key details are all in here. So the main topic of pages 3 through 6 was what? It was about noses, right? It was about how animals, excuse me, use their noses. Great job. So let's write that down on a chart so we can keep up with it. So on page 3 through 6, our main topic was what? How animals use their noses, right? Animals use their noses in different ways. So, animals use their noses in different ways. Great. Okay. So now let's look at page 7 through 10. It says, what do you do with ears like these? Okay. If you're a jackrabbit, you use your ears to keep cool. If you're a bat, you see with your ears. If you're a hippopotamus, you close your ears when you're underwater. If you're a cricket, you hear with ears that are on your knees. And if you're a humpback whale, you hear sounds hundreds of miles away. There's our pictures. All right, so let's think about some details. What details did you hear on these pages that we could put in our box? Well, I heard that jackrabbits use their ears to keep cool. What else did we hear? I heard that hippopotamuses close their ears when they go underwater. What else? I also heard that bats use their ears to see with, right? And I also heard that crickets hear on their knees. So there's those details, all right? So if I tie all this together, what is the main topic of that section? What do they all have in common? Animals use their ears in different ways, right? So let's write that up there. Animals use their ears in different ways. So what page was that? 7 through 10. Animals use their ears in different ways. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's look at page 19 through 22. What do you do with feet like these? If you're a chimpanzee, you feed yourself with your feet. If you're a blue-footed booby, do a dance. If you're a water strider, you walk on water. If you're a gecko, you use your sticky feet to walk on the ceiling. If you're a mountain goat, you leap from ledge to ledge. So what are some details you heard here? Well, I heard that if you're a blue-footed booby, you do a dance. I also heard that chimpanzees feed themselves with their feet. What did you hear? I also heard that the mountain goat can leap from ledge to ledge with their feet. And a gecko can walk on the ceiling with their feet. Right? So those are details. So what do all those details have in common? They use their feet in different ways, right? So for 19 to 22, animals use their feet in different ways. All right, so those are our three main topics. On these pages, 3 through 6 is animals use their noses in different ways. On 7 through 10, it's animals use their ears in different ways. And pages 19 to 22, animals use their feet in different ways. Great job. So which feature are all the details on 5 through 6 describing? Look at our chart. What are they describing there? It's how it uses their noses, right? Yeah, it's how they use their noses. What feature are they talking about on 9 through 10? Using their ears. Good. Great job. And what about on 21 and 22? What are they talking about? How they use their feet, right? Great job, guys. All right. Now that we have explored the text and determined the main topic and key details of different sections, we've got to determine the main topic of the whole book. So how did we determine the main topic of the whole book for Seahorse, the shyest fish at sea? Didn't we use all of our main topics once before and decided what it was fully about? Yes. So let's think about this. What is the main topic of the whole text? What do all these main topics have in common? Well, we know the main topic of the whole book is that animals use their noses, their ears, their tails, their eyes, their mouths, and their feet in unique ways, right? We also know that it talks about a lot of animals that have same body parts, but they use them differently. So I would conclude that the main topic of this text is animals use their noses, their ears, their tails, their eyes, their mouths, and feet in unique ways, right? So if you look at the top up there, it says, what do you do with a tail like this? So our main topic, I'm going to write it in a different color. Our main topic is, I'm going to star it, animals use their noses, ears, tail, eyes, mouths, and feet in unique ways. All right, that is our main topic of our lesson, our story. So I'm going to read page 2 to you out of my book. And it says, animals use their noses, ears, tails, eyes, mouths, and feet in very different ways. See if you can guess which animal each part belongs to and how it is used. At the back of the book, you can find out more about these animals. Did you notice that what we put up here for our main topic was what the first sentence was in the book? Animals use their noses, eyes, tails, ears, mouths, and feet in very different ways. That's the first sentence in our lesson. So that tells me that is the main topic of this book, right? Yes. Okay. So the author told us that main topic first thing when we read. So that is called a topic statement in our informative paragraph. Great job, guys. So let's talk about illustrations. And illustrations are pictures. So think about this. How does adding illustrations to our informative paragraph work? Well, if we add illustrations to an informative paragraph, kind of gives some important details, doesn't it? Kind of pulls it all together. So what details would we need to include in our drawing if we were writing about a seahorse's tail? Think about what would we need to see if we were making a drawing of a seahorse's tail. We would have to show how the tail bends, or how it can hold onto things, or how it can straighten out, right? Yes, good job. So sharing details like this is very important to make things understandable for you. So let's talk a minute about focus question task 4. We are writing an informative paragraph today. And the way we've got it is, I've decided I'm going to do it with you guys because we are going to talk about different animals from this book, and you don't have the book, and so it's going to be a lot harder without the book. So we're going to write an informative paragraph explaining how 2 animals from this text, what do you do with a tail like this, use the same feature differently. So we've got to make sure we have a topic statement that names the unique feature from the text. We've got to list 2 or more details that tell about how animals use that feature differently. And then we've got to write a conclusion. So what I decided on, we are going to talk about noses. All right. We're going to talk about noses being a unique feature. So let's think about this. Our noses being a unique feature. What do we know about noses? Well, if I go back and look at noses in here, I know that the platypus uses it to dig in the mud. I know a hyena finds its next meal. I know an elephant uses it to give itself a bath. I know an alligator uses it to breathe in the water. And I also know a mole can use its nose to find its way through underground, right? Okay, so with that being said, noses are the unique feature. So what two animals could we talk about? Let's think about the platypus. What do we know about the platypus? We know the platypus uses its nose to dig in the mud, right? So that's one detail. What's another detail that we could use? We could talk about elephants using their nose to spray themselves for a bath, right? Yes. So that's two details. So we have a topic being noses are unique features. We have that platypus can use their nose to dig in the mud. And we also know that an elephant can use its nose to spray itself down for a bath, right? Okay, so we need a conclusion, and a conclusion ties it all together. The conclusion of this sentence would be what? Animals use their noses in unique and different ways, right? Good. So we're not writing that down today. We are just talking about it today. We are not writing it. We're planning it. So come tomorrow, we meet again. We will write our paragraph. Okay? But today, it's just planning. So thank you for working so hard on that. All right, so let's switch gears a second. Let's talk vocabulary for a second. I want to introduce you to a word. The word is mammal. Mammal, okay? So let's think about a mammal. What do we know about a mammal? Well, not much, right? Let's see if we can figure out what a mammal is. So when I say a word, I want you to act out how this animal moves. So a monkey, how would a monkey move? Right? Climbing trees, swinging by their tails, right? Okay. How about a bear? Walking around with their big claws and everything. What about an elephant? Its big old nose swinging around, right? Okay. Well, those are all mammals. Those are all mammals. Let's look at page 27 here in this book, and I'm going to read a paragraph on page 27. About a platypus. It says the platypus, a very unusual animal, lives in streams, ponds, and rivers in Australia. It's a mammal, but it lays eggs. Its feet are webbed, and the males have poisonous spurs on their back legs. Platypus poison probably wouldn't kill a person, but getting spurred is very painful and can be deadly for small animals. Platypus closes its eyes underwater and uses its sensitive bill to detect the faint electric pulses emitted by its prey. Then with its bill, it sifts through the mud for these small fishes, frogs, and insects. Platypuses are usually about 20 inches long and weighs about 5 pounds. So with that, what information did that sentence give you about mammals? Well, we know it doesn't lay eggs, right? So mammals don't lay eggs. Okay. Well, let's read another paragraph about a bush baby. British explorers in Africa heard sounds in the night that sounded like the cries of lost children. That's how the bush baby, a relative of the lemur and monkey, got its name. This tree-dwelling mammal is only 6 to 9 inches tall and weighs less than half a pound. Sleeps during the day and hunts insects, lizards, and mice at night. The bush baby has very large round eyes that allows it to see in dim nighttime light. Its eyes don't move in their sockets, so the bush baby is constantly turning its head from side to side. So let's think about the bush baby. What do you see? Let me show you a picture of a bush baby. And I want you to look at the bush baby and tell me what you see on it. The bush baby right there. What do you see on the bush baby's body? You notice hair on his body. So mammals are animals that have hair and they don't lay eggs, right? Okay. So the definition of a mammal would be an animal that has hair and doesn't lay eggs. So let's think about this. An elephant doesn't lay eggs because it gives live birth, and it does have fine hair all over its body. What about a monkey? Does it have hair? Yep, and has also, right? What about a rabbit? It has hair too. Okay, what about a fish? It doesn't have hair, so it can't be a mammal, right? What about an eagle? What does it have? It has feathers, so it can't be considered a mammal either. What about an alligator? It doesn't have hair, so it can't be a mammal. That makes me wonder. I have hair, and I think you have hair, and I know I don't lay an egg, and I bet you don't either. So would we be a mammal? Yeah, we are mammals also. All right, guys, thanks for working so hard. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I will see you later.